Hello YouTube fans. As you can see, I'm off work today. Been off for 3 beautiful days of being off work. 3 beautiful days. But tomorrow, that being Thursday, I'll be back into work. Not like I'm moaning, I'm quite happy with work. I'm happy. So I thought I'd do me myself an eye. It's not been done in the big woods for a while. It's been freezing and I've been freezing my bollocks off. So I think I might do the woods. So you see me a lot more in my bedroom lately, doing now for movies and other stuff. Make sure my new trainers are not dirty because I've got a new pair of trainers on. But that's not why I'm speaking. I remember saying this, and it's to do with, are we going back into the 1980s? What do I mean by, are we going back into the 1980s? Yeah, it's going to be a rant. And I don't mean the Ultra Lotus, and no, I'm not Michael J. Fox, and no, I'm not going back in time. Because people think of the 1980s, they think of Taran. They think of the funny, dodgy fashion. They think of all the songs, whether it be Nana Rama, whether it's Anna, whether it's all the date films we all remember. No, I'm on about the depression. Now, people might think, well, what do you mean by depression? In the early 80s, there was a lot of people on the dole. There was the miners' strike. And you know the worstest thing of all we ever had? Maggie Thatcher. People go on about Maggie Thatcher, say the wonderful Iron Lady. I'm going to help people out who think Maggie Thatcher is wonderful, forget the shit she's done, and bring people back to memory lane. Because I know so many people are forgetful. I'm not. In the early 80s, we had the thing called the miners' strike, right? We all know it, and look at your history. And we had the miners' strike, right? And we had people who was offending our rights. Anyone who was working, a working man, a working lady, so I'm not humanistic, any sets with a worker, to make it more simple, right? We had people that would defend our honours. If we was being overworked, or we weren't getting our holidays, or we weren't getting so much of a break, or we weren't having a coffee, or we was just being treated like shit, we'd have people who defend our honours, right? Then we had the miners' strike. You know what tossed all that and what tossed so many people on the dole? The wonderful depression, right? But Margaret Thatcher was the one what stuck up to the miners. And that's where her nickname, the Iron Lady, as we all know a bit of history, got into place. But when you think about it, the early 80s was a depressing there. There were so many people on the cock and dole. Now they call it Universal, and they give it a sophisticated name. And I can't really shag Universal off. Can't really shag them off that much. They helped me out when I needed help. And I had a good bit of money on Universal. But in all fairness, Universal then started to get on my back. It depends really. If you're on Universal, it depends who you get to see on an interview. The few people I saw, they were alright, weren't all that arsed. Yeah, you're doing a good job. See you later. But then I got one person who I thought was a fucking dick. I was an arsehole. I was a knob. So I was happy I got the job, what I got. If I've not got that job, I would have, well, they were going to take Universal off me anyway. You know, when they judge you and they fucking put a label on you, and that's what they do. But back in the early 80s, being on the cock and dole was horrible. People hated it. There was more people on the cock and dole. And you know what fucked the country up the most? Certitive. Because certitive have always been for the bid, the rich, and undeserving. Always have been. And Labour are just this stomach, right? Don't not buy this shit about Sir Starman. I've already heard that he could be the next new guy on the block. When you think about it though, you've got Wussy. And what has he done at the moment with the problem of the living crisis? You know, the living crisis at the moment is sky fucking high. Just like it was back in the 80s. How much history is repeating itself? Just like the Sorry Bassy song, it's a bit of history repeating, and it is, it fucking is. And it's again with certitude. So you got Wussy, right? What has he done to help us, the working man, the working Joe, the working woman, what has he done to help us out of this crisis? Fuck all. Fuck all. Now, granted, they got the government chance and they're paying so much, and if you're on Universal, they're paying so much, and so on. But there's so many people now, so many fucking people going on strike, it is unbelievable. Should I bitch? Should I moan? No. And the reason why is because it's understandable. They could barely have a pot to piss in. And you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And Wussy Wussy, he doesn't give a fuck. He's a rich man. Rich man. Just a fucking businessman. He's there for the rich and undeserving. He's everything I hate about certitude, he is. Now, I know some people might love me. Some people might hate me. And they'll leave nice comments or thumbs down or thumbs up. But certitude, that's my opinion. Some people might think certitude are for us. I'm sorry, I disagree. Rewind, go back into the 80s. And what amazing things they did. All certitude did back in the 80s, when we had the wonderful Iron Lady, was help the rich and undeserving. What do you think Wussy Wussy's doing? What do you think he's doing now? What does he really give a shit for us? The Miggle man, the Miggle lady? No, because he's a money man. He's never had a proper day's job in his fucking life, so why would he give a shit about yous, the people? Why wouldn't he? We're the little people to him. He ain't gonna give a fuck. He ain't gonna give a fuck, because he's a fucker himself. Too busy having a cup of tea with the fucking king. And I've heard rumours that he's going on about the EU again. Did certitude really give a shit about the EU? Hand on heart here. Hand on heart. Do you honestly think certitude did a flying fuck about the EU? And that just scares me, because I heard Sir Starman reckon that he could take over. And what's so frightening is, he could take over. Because there's not a lot of people to look up to as politicians. There's not. Do not buy the shit that Sir Starman is a changed man. He's saw a religion and he's here for you. Because he's another money man. He's another man who's been bought up with money, rich and upper class, doesn't give a fuck about the middle people. And I think it's the same. I think it's a damn shame that there's no one who is a Prime Minister who are for us. Wussy Wussy is a prime example of what the 80s is. Depression, people out of work, government not doing a shit. Wussy Wussy, prime example of that. Prime fucking example. A prime example. So I heard Sir Starman going on making his pretty speech on a morning show, and I couldn't believe it. I thought, can the people not see the shit coming out of his mouth? Because I could see him like Tass, the shit, the garbage coming out of his dossy, and I'm thinking, why is it people not seeing the lies? The lies. I mean, we never wanted Wussy Wussy. Who, right, hand on heart here, right, people can either love me, people can either hate me, but who the fuck wanted Wussy Wussy in the first place? Who wanted him? Nobody wanted him to begin with, because so many people voted Liz Truss. And I did Liz Truss did style, did her a fucking do, but she didn't know what the fuck she was doing. She didn't know what the fuck she was doing. One moment she's going to help us out. Oh, I changed my mind. Oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, no, I changed my mind. She changed her mind more times since she changed her fucking knickers. In all fairness, she changed her mind more times since she changed her knickknacks. And that's now why we've got this Wussy Wussy. And Wussy Wussy T doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Just now and again makes a pretty speech. What the fuck is he doing? Wussy Wussy. Wussy Wussy from you, Wussy Wussy. Our new dick on the block. What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing to help people out of this toss of living crisis? What the fuck are you doing? They don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck. So our guarantee we'll get Labour, we'll get Starman, we'll get another dick on the block who no doubt will fuck the country more. Fuck the country more. And I don't want that. I really from the bottom of my fucking heart do not want that. But did we get a vote in the first place? The only thing I do with Starman on is it should have been up to us to vote. But hey, good news people. 2024 we get the right to vote. But it's one of these, should I jump up to go, yay? No, because at the end of the day, the end of the day, who do you vote for? Who the fuck do you vote for? Who is for us? Who is the man? Who is the woman for us? But it just feels, it's just been on my mind this, it's been on my fucking mind, and I just feel like, my cough, it just feels like we're going back in the 1980s, and that's our wonderful certitude. Definitely proves the point they've not changed, doesn't it? But into them, be smart, be safe, and I'm just going to vote for myself. See you later.